We got ourselves team 1 together with Cry's Bad. Looks like Cry's is going to be potential first up. On the team, we got ourselves Francis waiting down the back with G-Funk. We got ourselves Cajix going back in as Assassination and Tags in the back as Affliction versus Bach as a Marksman Hunter on team 2. Jesus on our Frost DK. Leatherface joining that fight as well as Orlane as a Shadow Priest. And we got Shinigami, another Shadow Priest in the back. Gonna be the Succubus CC around the corner with immediate Trinket. Wait, Orlane choosing to Trinket. That Succubus Seduction. He literally just doesn't want to take any damage from it at all. Any damage whatsoever. As Chrysbert looking for a bit of a reset himself. Orlane chilling behind the pillar. He wants to approach the Succubus, hiding itself cloaked in stealth. And if Orlane does not make a move, Skysbat could actually just wait out until Succubus gets him. Coming in with a PI, trying to get some damage onto Chrysbat, but it's immediate port by the Warlock, actually pushing the Succubus back next to him. Succubus CC, Chrysbat could potentially just walk out there. There it is. He wants to make sure he's playing the game on his terms, hitting him with a big old Chaos Bolt, Bonds of Hell, maybe a Cataclysm around the corner. Orlane trying to see if he can avoid it. Infernal coming in down as Chrysbit just wants to burn the boy down really quickly, maybe force out all the cooldowns. There goes Disperse. And Orlane is kind of low on CDs that he could really use. It's going to be a port for Chrysbit, trying to avoid the AoE fear out of Orlane, who does need to get pretty close to Chrysbit to land the fear. Big Chaos wants to fly down with Dark Pact. That's going to be down for the Count Shadow Priest. Sniped out of the game. It looks like Leatherface is going to be up next. How to defeat a guy controlling demons. Just send in a guy who's there to slay the demons. Literally there to hunt them down. Stun onto Chrysbad. Succubus CC interrupts the burst out of Leatherface. Putting him in a bit of a tight spot. Chaos Bolt loaded up, ready to go. Smacking Leatherface to the side with a Cataclysm as well as a Bonds of Hell. Quick imprisoned by Leatherface, and is going to get himself a Flesh Cuff just to get him back up and running. Chrysbad got himself plenty of instants thrown out versus Leatherface with a Mortal Coil to follow. Gonna be Incinerates getting loaded up. And the Succubus is there trying to do what he can, but finally Leatherface able to get a Thunder Chrysbad, able to get at least a big old I-beam rolling, but it is going to be shut down pretty early on. Soul Rod up next for Chrysbad, trying to make some kind of damage happen. Big port is up. Leatherface is to catch up to him. So far, Chrysbad is the one that's hurting quite a bit, while Leatherface has been pretty survivable. I wonder if Leatherface is ever worth just stacking the Succubus, because that could be a Demon Soul for him to slay, as well as a 20% damage increase. If he could just somehow cleave the Succubus for free. And actually, it might not be a bad idea just to at least keep the Succubus low, so it's always an opportunity, always an option. Stun under Chrysbad, trying to get himself some damage in, but that's going to be Demon spawning in, trying to banish out the pet for Leatherface. And the Demon Hunter at least has a demon nearby. He can slay it. He could butcher it, slay it, get 20% health, or basically like a fourth of your health bar. And a 20% damage increase whenever he needs to. Getting kind of low. He's going to slay the demon, catching the soul immediately, and giving himself a little bit of a damage increase. If he's able to capitalize, get on top of Chrysbad, he might be able to make something work. But the biggest disadvantage of playing a Demon Hunter is there's no slow breaks. If you get some kind of slow on you, you do have full rushes. You do have the double jump as well as glide. You do have the Demon Hunter disengage with a... What is it called? What is the Demon Hunter disengage called? I actually forget. Actually drawing a hard blank here. But you do have the disengage. You do have full rushes for mobility, but you don't have any ways to break slows. Chrysbad does get locked down for just a second, just a hair by Leatherface. He's trying to see if he can send a Chaos Bolt back at him. Does Chrysbad have any mobility at all? The Mortal Coil at Leatherface. As the Demon Hunter is still holding on to a trinket, interrupted Chrysbad on fire, but it is still shadow spells that he can send out. That is most of the curse of exhaustion, fear onto Leatherface. Trinkets out of it. There goes the Demon Hunter's one trinket that he burned. Stun into Chrysbad with an I-beam. Does get the full beam with a stun to follow. Does he have enough damage? That is going to be Chrysbad with a big port away with a demonic portal. Does have the massive gateway as Leatherface looking to catch up to him. Is going to have the Demon Soul spawning on top of him. Could slay the Demon Soul. Try to stay on top of Chrysbad. Just continues to throw glaives, as that is the only thing he can essentially do. And was that a Succubus CC on top of it as well? That might have been a Succubus Seduce that didn't last long at all. Does he have the stun to catch the Warlock? Catches up to him for a second. Chrysbad doesn't have Mortal Coil for a second. Needs to send it down as soon as possible. Mortal Coil is sent. Does he have any CC to follow up? Succubus does not have the opportunity to control, baiting the Demon Hunter by the pillar just to port behind the pillar. Just behind another set of wall again. Going to be a stun around the corner. Trinket by the Warlock. Drop it down Infernal with the Fear onto Leatherface. Most likely the Infernal is going to break it. Kaiser is loading him up full of dots. Leatherface has Blur. He has everything available. I don't think he needs any of it. IB onto Christbed does end up taking him out. Such a long game between the two. I never really realized just how much kite ability a Warlock has until you see that duel. And it looks like Tagsy is actually given the opportunity to at least get full dots on the Leatherface. He's given a bit of that honored duel right now, as he's not really getting super aggressive, even letting him set up all the ports. Is Leatherface just that confident? He's like, you know what? I beat a Destro Warlock, and Affliction Warlock is nothing. At 26% dampening, stun around the corner. Gonna be the Dark Bag, keeping him alive just for a little bit longer. Leatherface holding on to his interrupt until he absolutely needs it. Is gonna land that interrupt as another demon spawns in. Tagsy looking for the stable Affliction. Could be Leatherface just removing those dots and reflecting them back to Tagsy if he wanted to. Drain life does allow Tagsy to catch up on a little bit of health. Shadow Fear to follow. Leatherface has the demon next to him, so he can slay it in a moment. Unless Tagsy can just fear out and CC, Leatherface is gonna slay another demon. 29% dampening. This guy is continuing to heal as much as humanly possible. Fear by Tagsy trying to catch up on drain lives. And Leatherface is prepared to go for a long haul game, dude. He better have been just prepared, just knowing that, okay, it's another Warlock. There's going to be Curse of Exhaustion. It's going to be really exhausted catching up to him. That's going to be Soul Shape really early up for Tagsy. Actually, it's going to be put in a situation where he can't really do much against Leatherface for now. Unless he has more mobility, he's going to try to see if he gets counter-aggressive with Dark Soul, what is it? Dark Soul Hysteria, I believe it is, for Affliction Warlock. But a Dark Soul regardless, try to go for a drain into Leatherface, got himself Flesh Cap to give himself a little bit of tank, and his Dark Pact is up for Tagsy, just to give him a little bit more survivability in this. Mortal Coil Send at the Demon Hunter as Tagsy is just trying to keep him at bay, keep him away as best as possible, has him the port in order to at least keep the distance, let the dots do a little bit of damage to Leatherface, at least burn through the Flesh Cap shield, going for that gateway. Does he have any more mobility? He might be put in a bad spot. Big old Tagsy trying to hit over the slow train life, interrupted as Leatherface just chunks him out with Kjax opening up to Leatherface immediately. The Demon Hunter walking into this with Metamorphosis. Blur in 10 seconds. Interrupt, but he's not going to need one for the Rogue. And Kjax just fully loaded him up with dots as an assassination rogue. Leatherface, without a Flesh Cut for a while, does need to get himself a demon to spawn in. And there it is. Trinket out of Kjax too. So the next stun luck by Leatherface could be pretty huge. Better just slay the demon before Kjax goes for a next kidney shot wombo combo. Leatherface is definitely going to need some healing. He has a Trinket, so maybe that's why he's super confident. He maybe wants to get a kidney shot out of Kjax, get low. Might need to Trinket this. Trinket slays the demon, eats the soul, but looks like this healing reduction. Big stun to Kjax, turning around on him out of nowhere. Kjax looks like he found himself super low on health, and Leatherface didn't even eat the demon's soul in that duel. He just kind of had it sitting on the side. G-Funk up next with a full Kirin burst. Leatherface is trying to hope that Darkness is able to keep him alive as best as possible. Grenades are getting thrown in, but G-Funk is going to be able to take him out. This Demon Hunter, dude, he lived through Chrysler and the Kite Fiesta that was. Then he lived through the Affliction Warlock and more kiting that offered. Between Soul Shape, between the ports, between everything. And then he lived through the Rogue. And we know Kjax isn't like an undergeared Rogue either. That actually could have been anyone's game, but getting the Trinket out and then taking that stun, big damage, literally didn't even use the Demon Heal. Shinigami's up next with his G-Funk. Looks like G-Funk popping a Turtle Shell as he dips low. That is going to activate an AoE stun from the Mechanical Soulbind. We are at the 12-minute mark, 46% dampening here, boys. Shinigami looking to live as best as possible. Gonna be G-Funk missing his own Kirin arrow. But it looks like Shinigami's just dead. He actually went for a full disperse, trying to reduce the damage he's taken, but the shackle stacked up a healing reduction, necrotic effect. It basically gave him no chance. Bach is going to be up next. Catching the Pendant Freezer Trap is going to be able to see G-Funk going for the aim shot. I think it's over unless G-Funk has a faint death. Got himself in a steel trap onto a Bach as he got himself rapid fire. Going to be a faint death. Wait, Bach could maybe make something happen. Double tap is available. Got himself the Kirin bow arrow going. Rapid fire. G-Funk can't stop it. Going to be full explosive and everything as Bach takes him out. This is just a burst fiesta at this point. This is where if you got any cooldowns, you're just throwing everything at the wall, seeing what sticks. And Francis over in Team 1 is the last man standing while waiting for him. Bach waiting in the back with a camo is going to be able to at least catch up on his cooldowns. I don't think he necessarily needs. Does he really need True Shot Aura in order to make the burst happen? I don't think he necessarily needs it, right? He just needs a Kyrian with a double tap and explosive shot. Against Francis, though, that is dispersed, that is going to be greater fade. And if Francis catches him in the stun, Bach got no trinket unless he got a human racial up soon. But he won't have anything out for a while. Francis mounting up. He wants to make sure he has a good angle when catching Bach. He wants to just hit him with a stun. Is that going to be eyes actually were enough? It is going to be the eyes were enough. Bach could go for the opener. Rapid fire decides to go against the aim shot as the Shadow Priest is going to roll in with the fear. Got full void eruption. Bach getting himself a proc. Going to be a feign death for a second, removing the dots. And Francis is going to be hit with a scatter shot for a moment. Bach is going to switch around on the pet. The pet is actually, the Shadow Fiend is actually going to do quite a bit of damage. Yeah, the Shadow Fiend is actually going to do, actually, did he kill it? Did he just kill the Shadow Fiend? I'm not saying anything anymore unless Francis like recalled it or dismissed it, which I don't think Shadow Priest can do that. Might have just nuked it with aim shots. Bach is just waiting until he can get this next Kyrian setup. That's all he needs. He just to get the Kyrian setup around the corner, land and interrupt onto Francis. It's going to go for a feint death removal. All the dots but put him in a horror effect. As long as he can get a kick on the Shadow Cast versus Francis, he actually might be able to win this. It's really going to come down to Hunter has a double tap ready. Francis is getting some instant casts off. He wants to make sure Greater Fate is up. Does Bog just push in? Rapid fire as the disperse comes out. Is going to let some of this rapid fire do some damage. Explosive shot ready. Maybe by the time disperse is off. No, is going to be able to have disperse cover him with the explosive shot. Stun into Bog as a trinket for it. It's going to be scattered for a second. Trinket for Francis with a shot or death. It was anyone's game at the end there. With Leatherface going in with the 3 kills in a row, having to play against some of the classes that could just go for the most CC chains on him, dude. Some of the, I think only mages can go for even better CC chains, but Warlocks really got quite a bit of CC to them, don't they?